post time. Grizzlies are down 0-2 to the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight. 118-99. The Grizzlies fall in Game 2. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle with you. 901-445-0929. 901-445-0929. The Double Post live at Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, and on your radio dial at 92.9 FM ESPN. 901-445-0929 if you want to get a call. And I just got a call from my buddy that said they won't stop beating the crap out of us. The Oklahoma City Thunder win tonight, 118-99. We felt good, okay, for like the third quarter, maybe.
Oh, we'll always have that third quarter.
We'll always
have it.
We'll always have that third quarter.
We'll have half of the second quarter.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. There was a run there.
There's a little run there.
Yeah.
They almost won the second quarter. They almost.
Third quarter is the first quarter we have won in this series. By the way, there is a key to that. There's a key to that. They only turned it over twice, and the Thunder shot 0 of 8 from 3, and we shot 4 of 8 from 3.
And then tell me what happened at the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, we gave up like a 7-0 run.
It was a 9-0 run.
9-0.
It was a 7-0, then they took a timeout after the case and Walls dunk.
I think I got disgusted after 7-0 and didn't see the 9-0.
I went home, and my husband went to the bathroom between the third and the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And so he came back, and they had gone on the 7-0 run in the time that it took him to run to the bathroom and come back. And he's like, what the hell happened? And I said, the Thunder did the thing again.
I think the biggest issue in this series, aside from them being a lot better than us, and one of the issues of them being better than us is, I think we have 3 players who would play for them. That's just like, I think Ja, Des, and Jaren would play for them. I don't think our other guys would even play for them. I think we have a lot of guys who wouldn't play for other teams that are in the playoffs.
I mean, to your point, 0 bench points in the second half for the Grizzlies. Like, you're not going to win a game.
Yeah.
A game, not let alone a playoff game.
You're not going to, if I told you, hey, the other team shot better from the field, better from 3, made 5 more threes, better from the free throw line, had more offensive rebounds, had more assists, had more steals, had more blocks, had more points in the paint, had more fast break points. I mean, you'd say, like, you lost the game.
The fast break points between Game 1 and Game 2, and I know everyone would like for Game 1 to be the game we never speak of again, but I'm not ready to do that after you lose Game 2 by 17 points. The fast break points between these two games, 48-8, I believe.
Yeah.
48-8 between Game 1 and Game 2.
It's a massive thing. When you look at points off turnovers, I've told you, like, points off turnovers have been the thing. It was a thing for the Grizzlies earlier this season when they lost games, when you would go and look at it and you're like, what is with this? And the losses, they're just points off turnovers. Like, they just turn the ball over. The other team scores off of them every single time. And it really was a problem against Oklahoma City. Coming into this series, the Thunder were scoring 24 points per game off of turnovers against the Grizzlies. In Game 1, they scored 24 points off turnovers. In Game 2 tonight, the Grizzlies turned it over only 15 times. But the Thunder still scored 25 points off of those turnovers. I don't know how... I don't know how you fix that. Like, it's not a small sample. We're talking 6 games against this team now that it's the issue.
It's where I struggle in the totality of this game. Yes, you can be encouraged by what you saw in some of that second quarter, what you saw in the third quarter, the play of Jaren Jackson Jr. in that third quarter. Some of the baskets by Ja were tremendous, and some of the fight that he showed in the second. But to say overwhelmingly I was encouraged by a greater fight from the Grizzlies this game would be a lie. The Thunder looked like the team who were down, who were not favored, who were backs against the wall from the jump. I mean, even as they started off excessively slow offensively, and the Grizzlies couldn't capitalize. I think they missed their first 5 shots as well. But this Thunder team was diving for every loose ball, going after every rebound, and that Isaiah Joe 3.
That where he chased down the rebound between 2 guys and knocked the ball away, went and got it, and then just pulled it into a wide open 3.
And that's your third player off the bench.
And there's Caruso missing, and here it is. And Isaiah Joe gets that right there with Santi. Was it Santi and Scotty?
Yep.
That was in there. They're so 901-445-0929. Bennett, we've got a caller line, but Bennett, I want to get your thoughts on this because we watched this game up here together. And there were several things that you pointed out during.
Well, I mean, and to your point, JB, like the run that they went on, yes, Jaren started to cook. He got some baskets. He was able to back down Caruso a few times, took advantage of that matchup with a smaller guy on him. We were also hitting some threes in that stretch. The thing is, they were missing everything.
Yeah.
You know, I think it was as much about they just were missing everything during that stretch, and we hit a couple threes to get it close. It's hard to take a ton of positives. Like there was some, obviously more than last game, but again, like the mini run you went on. And, you know, Mike made the point in the post game with Eric, you know, the numbers do look good for Jaren tonight. He did play better, but it all comes in the second half for the most part.
Yeah,
and it's too late. Yeah. You're down 20. Like, you know, do it before you're down 20.
This team is so tough when they get a lead like that. I mean, when this team gets a lead like that, Oklahoma City, like you're cooked.
It's
like
so demoralizing.
They're so really good defensively that even if you make a little bit of a run, we got it to what, 7?
8.
8. We got it to 8. Yeah. Like, it's only a matter of time. Honestly, I mean, this is seriously what it felt like. This is just what it felt like to me. They let the Grizzlies have the third quarter and said, okay, we'll turn up now. Now we're going to play. And they played with a little bit of intensity for about the first 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, and that was it. That was it. It felt like it was like 8-10 to like 20, like that in the fourth quarter.
The play that really bothered me, and I pointed it out to you, I think it was maybe like 95-79, something like that. They knocked the ball out of Jaren's hands, and like their whole team dives on the floor for the ball, and all our guys are just standing. And I'm just like, we never do that. I mean, if you go watch the tape from these 2 games, like their dudes are just on the floor. Like if there's a loose ball, it looks like their entire lineup is on the floor, and we just don't do that as much.
They all go after it. Like there's another thing too. You remember when Dez came in? This is actually, it's kind of a symbolic thing. Remember when Dez came in? I think it's one of our guys. I think Jaren may have missed the free throw. And Dez came in, rebounded the missed free throw, and laid it in. If you watch that, Jalen Williams turns around because Dez came in from, he's behind the 3-point line when that free throw's being taken. Jalen Williams turns around to his team and starts yelling, like, basically, yo, who the hell is letting him do that? When that happened, if that happens to us, our guys just stand around and look at each other like, huh? What? Huh? What? Like, there's, 901-445-0929. Oh, there's more we'll get to.
It's frustrating.
We haven't gotten to the point guard yet. James, you're up. Hello, James.
Hello. Just wanted to shout out you guys first and foremost, Bennett, Roser, and Jessica as well, big fans of the show. Wanted to talk about the team just real quick because Zach Lowe and Howard Beck, they had a podcast, I think it was yesterday, a couple of days ago.
I was talking to Bennett about this during the game, towards the end of the game,
Yes, so basically, you're basically aware of it and stuff like that. And the point that they brought up, and I think you guys always bring up on the Chris Vernon show, is the fact that way back, when we were the 2 seed and stuff like that, for the first time in franchise history, we were a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense. And ever since our point guard, kind of came back and stuff like that, and he wasn't a fan of the said offense, we had to change it up. Granted, we weren't beating anybody, but it still at least kept defenses moving. It kept, the ball moving and stuff like that. So it is, kind of worrying the fact that our own superstar kind of wasn't selfish enough to say, you know what, let me decrease my role real quick because it at least gets us moving, it does make it concerning. Now, obviously, the whole, the trade stuff that they were talking about, I don't really agree with, but, opinions are opinions. But I want to know what your guys' thoughts on that because, it does say a lot, the fact that, we had a top 10 offense and a top 10 defense, yet our superstar point guard. And granted, this team that we're going up against, the 68 wins. There's nothing.
No. And I think you're fair, James, because there is part of it that is, look, you're playing a 68 win team who is by far the best defensive team in the league, and they will make anybody look ridiculous. There was actually a tweet tonight. And I'll talk about that in a sec, James. I appreciate the call. Thank you for the call. James. Yeah, we appreciate it. Steve Jones Jr. put out this tweet. Kyra, if we have this, basically how Oklahoma City is guarding Ja, and it's this is what teams do to him. It's what they're going to do to him if you don't have honest shooters, and if he can't shoot the ball, they are just going to boxes and elbows him, and you set that high screen and Ja comes around and he is staring. Watch right there. Look at that. There's Jalen Williams, there's Lou Dort, there's Chet Holmgren. They're all right there up at the free throw line or beyond it, and then you get forced into that. That's just what it's going. This is what Minnesota did to him a couple of years ago, but the Grizzlies had a better roster then. This is what teams will do to him. They make looks very, very difficult for him. They're going to put guys up there at the top. Now, to James's point, that I know what he was saying about the offense that they were running. It appeared like Jaren was much better with it. Jaren played much better with it. Desmond Bane was playing a lot better with it. It does seem to be there is something to. Can Ja only? Is this a thing where Ja's awesome only if he has a center who sets a high screen, who can set a high screen up top? Because the shot's not great. Clearly, there are a million times tonight where he thought he got fouled and he didn't get fouled, and he threw his hands up at the referees and then didn't even really walk back on defense. How many times did we not see him even in the frame of pictures of possessions where the Thunder are often going? There's a bunch of them. But there is something to say that, hey, that this has now been catered more towards you, but the team is, anyways.
I think the understanding was from the beginning this season, it was always trending towards emerging of the new offense with some of the principles of the old offense. And I think, God, I think it was on the TNT broadcast. Perhaps it was Candace Parker who brought it up, or maybe it was maybe it was Kenny Smith during the halftime show. And he pointed out the disruption that happens when you make a coaching change, when you're already in a new system for the majority of the season, and then you're trying to do this merge or whatever it's going to look like going into the postseason, and then you make a coaching change, and that's a lot. And you throw in the injuries that this team faced throughout the season, and you were never getting the consistency that you would have wanted to see. And so then everything's all wonky and everything looks disjointed. And tonight was yet another case. I mean, that ball is just sticking. Nobody's moving on offense. They had 17 assists tonight.
No.
And I will say, if you look back on the offense early in the season, yes, it seemed to be something that was preferable for featuring Jaren, featuring Des, even Santi Aldama. I mean, there was a time this season where we were talking about Santi Aldama as a sixth man of the year candidate. And obviously that's dropped off significantly. Yeah. But turnovers have been an issue for this team all year long.
Season. It doesn't matter what offense they're playing. It doesn't matter what offense they're playing.
And who they're playing. It could be the best defense in the Oklahoma City Thunder. It could have been against, sorry to sideswipe you, the Utah Jazz or the Washington Wizards. That was something that plagued this team significantly.
They have had turnover, and I'm so glad you're here because it's a balance you give me, Jess.
We're here.
Just a balance. You're a balance for me. 901-445-0929. All right, speaking of balance, we got full lines. Miss Betty, you are the balance to the double post.
Meditate.
Yes.
How y'all doing? I know, not well.
Been better.
I'm not well either, but I did see a little bit more spark tonight than on Sunday. But what you all have said already is very critical. We had a coach change. We had a how they set up plays changed. Ja's ankle. I'm not making excuses. I'm looking at all the variables that's going into this process. Jalen Wells is out. You have to look at everything going on at the same time. I know we have a next man up mentality, but that's not how we've been playing all year. We had too many turnovers all year long, as you mentioned it. And we lost this game in the first quarter. And, I mean, we did better in the second through the fourth quarter, but we lost it in the first quarter. And they tried to recoup in the further quarters. It was a slow start for us, all right? And so they got to hustle a little bit more. They got to be more strategic. And just keep in mind that a lot have happened to these young players over the last few games. I mean, as you mentioned, and I think it was Kenny that said, when you change a coach, you change how the playbook is done, and throw all that at them. Remember, they went on a losing spree not too long ago. I mean, you're looking at a team that won 68 games. How many games did we win for the first, 40-something? So Oklahoma City is just better than we are. But one thing that was said, and I think Darby said it, we as fans, regardless of how they do this work, we as fans got to go in on Thursday as if they are the best team in NBA. We got to cheer them on. Win, lose, or draw, we got to go in and do what we do. And from that, hopefully, they will do what they do. I hate to say this, but I never had them winning this series.
Nobody did.
We'll win. I think I'm hoping that we win one game at least. But
it would be nice.
We didn't win all four. I know I got to get off the line. We didn't win any games. We played against them all season. But at least they got to make the effort. And so I'm hoping that they will make the effort, and I'm hoping that the fans, regardless of all of this, the fans will come out and they're our Grizzlies. They're our Grizzlies, and let's go out and support them. So if everybody's listening, go out and support them on Thursday like they're the number one team in the NBA. That's all.
Thank you, Miss Betty. I agree. Come out and support the team. It's an 8:30 tip on Thursday night.
I do wonder if the game would have been differently if they didn't start 0 for 9. You know, like
it was such
it was like you were just he was
I'm
incredulous.
Like, make
the Thunder
a shot.
were gifting them the opportunity to start that game,
and they were missing everything too. It's like, man, what if you make half of those and you got a little lead and a little more swagger? Like,
easily could have been up like 10-0 in that game. Like, easily could have been. And there's so many times that they on offense, like how many times on offense, like you said, just the ball, like it just sticks. And like how many times do we actually like pass, drive, kick, rotate over here, cut, pass, drive, and just the ball pops and it pops and it pops, and then we get an open look. Like it's like you could probably count on one hand the amount of times that they did that tonight. It mostly was just
it was pass, stand and watch whoever has the ball.
Yes.
Maybe pass.
Yep.
And then it was tip out a long rebound that goes to the Thunder, and zoom, it's another fast break opportunity.
Yeah.
I will say, I want to make sure we point out too, though, there was like a genuine opportunity for this team to try to make a run in the fourth quarter after cutting it to 9 in the third a couple of times. It's an 11-point game at the start of the fourth. And I did think that was a time where John Morant had to be in the basketball game to start that fourth quarter, because by the time he came back in, it was an 18-point game again. And again, those are learning experiences that are happening in real time. And I get it. You don't want to exhaust him, and he played 40 minutes tonight, team high, 40 minutes for Ja. There was one other time that I forgot to write down the specificity of it, but it was at a point where they cut it to either 11 or 9 in the third. And I would have loved to see Ja, Jaren, and Dez all out there at that time.
Right.
That's where you make the run for it. That's where, if you are going to steal a game in OKC, all things considered, after you go down 23 again, after it felt like you might just give up in the first quarter and you come back into it, I thought that was the time that you could have made some critical decisions to ensure that they were in it. But again, like you said, with the Thunder, I mean, you have to play perfect. You really do.
No, I was going to say, to your point, it's not just the players have to play. The coaching's got to be perfect too. Like you're going to have things go all right for you. It's all going to have to come like heads up for you. That's how it's going to have to go to be able to beat this team, because we have seen when they want to flip a switch, they can flip a switch, and you have to be you have to be ready to at least somewhat withstand that, or you've got to be up enough or in a certain position where you can withstand that a little bit. Ryan, you're up.
So Jessica and I have great minds, because that was my exact point I was going to say that she just brought up. We were feeling much better, down 11 going into the third, and you're thinking, okay, the momentum's a little bit there. I know Roser said the same exact thing, where it felt like KC was just playing with us a little bit, and all they had to do was turn it up for a couple of minutes, and then it was over. But you start the fourth with Bagley and Luke Kennard out there. Luke, who's basically lost his confidence over the last month, when you should have rolled out your best starting three, and you should have done that, and that was the killer. And if you just went on Grizz Twitter for 3 minutes, every single tweet back to back to back was like, what is Isolo doing? What is Isolo doing? And, like we said, rookie coach, this is his first time in this moment here. But those are the kind of things where you just need to roll it all out there and see what happens. And then back to the great point that I thought your first caller had, I think as James was, about the offense and how it sort of got stagnant. My biggest concern was, we heard at the beginning of the season, right, we're doing this new offense, so it's better for us in critical moments. And when it gets to the, down to the stretch in these big games, and now it feels like jaw pick and roll. He gets suckered in. We're relying on shooters, we're relying on other things, and then it gets so stagnant. And that's where this new offense was supposed to be a win for us. And now, all season, we're used to fast break, score 120, and now we're playing in the mud again, and it just gets basically in the mud. And we've seen that before. So I just wanted to say that. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan.
And you don't have the defense to play in the mud
That's
back.
the biggest.
You're
that's the thing I was going to go to is like they don't have the defensive players, and so when it gets talked about, well, Jaren's defense, it's like Jaren is not any better or worse as a defender. Jaren is the exact same great defensive player he has always been. The defensive talent around him has gotten worse, and he has to cover for everything out there, and he cannot guard 5 guys at one time. You have too many guys at the point of attack. Devin Walker always talks about, we always talk about their point of attack defense is just not good. And I do think there are going to be just even long-term problems, like when you have a big and a guard that other teams can literally just, they are not good defensive players, that other teams can just throw in pick and rolls day after day after day after day and just spam, you're going to have a problem, because Edey has to play drop coverage. You've seen it. How many mid-range jumpers did Oklahoma City just walk right into? Like SGA, Jalen Williams, like even Holmgren, like did they just get these mid-range free throw line, Caruso, these mid-range free throw line extended mid-range jumpers, they just get them because gotta drop back. Yeah. Look how far back like there's no stepping up on any of these. And then Jalen Williams right there, man. I've seen that a lot happen to Dez. the long defender.
I mean, that
just
goes back to
there.
That goes back to how this team is built, right? Because we have seen Desmond Bane thrive in many roles, but one of those roles is not being asked to have excessive ball handling opportunities on this team.
And I will say he has improved dramatically. If you remember what he was as a ball handler as a rookie, like he's improved a million times over, but not to the point where he needs to be a serious ball handler, lead offense orchestrating kind of guy. He is much better moving off the ball, without the ball, catch and shoot, kind of like a Klay Thompson role. 901-445-0929. Kendarius, you're up.
What's up with y'all? Hey, man, how y'all doing?
Yeah, what's up, man?
I got 2 things. One, we are really missing Brandon Clark. At first, I was one of the guys that was really like, man, I'm done with Brandon. But I've noticed since Brandon got hurt, the big part of the Ja Morant, when he goes in the air, I don't think he trusts Edey all the way. It just seems like he gets in the air, and now where Brandon used to curl to the goal and he just dump it off, and then Brandon do a little bunny shot or whatever, that's not there anymore. So when Ja goes in the air, he looks around and he just throws it. And also, Ja has to stop. We see him put his head down when he don't get his calls, and the next thing I see the why. But you gotta understand, bro. Like for a whole 2-3 years, you shooting guns and grenades. These refs is not. They think you tough. So they ain't going to give you them calls, man. So you got to, I don't know. But I still say Grizz in 6 only because I haven't seen too much of them actually. It's everything is just a heart. Everything is heart. But, like, sometimes you got to get mad. And playing in Memphis is a total different situation, even going to the games. So I would like to say, Grizz Nation, I love y'all, and we're going to Grizz Nation 6.
All right, thank you for the call, Darius. You know what? I appreciate that.
Me too.
I appreciate the Grizz in 6 vibe. I appreciate it. Tickets available. Playoffs, Game 3, Thursday night, 8:30, FedEx Forum, Ticketmaster.com, FedEx Forum box office.
I know it doesn't feel like
Hoop. And it will be, dude, look. We were there. We were in there. We were in there for that play-in game. We were in there for that play-in game.
And it was amazing.
And it was amazing after coming off that heartbreaker to the Warriors.
Like
it was amazing in there, and that was a play-in game. It is 8:30 Thursday night. That crowd is going to be really, really loud. They will have had plenty of time to get off work, get downtown, have some beverages, have more beverages during the game, be really loud, and then be responsible Grizz fans that they are and get a ride share home.
I've been at every single playoff series that this team has ever played. And even in some of those series when they might not have really had much of a chance to win the series. And it has never not been an absolute blast.
No, absolutely.
So,
Look, I was there. Look, we were there when we had 30. We started Jordan Farmar and Birdman. We had Xavier Mumford coming off the bench against the San Antonio Spurs. Mm-hmm. We knew we weren't. I mean, like, it is what it is. Crowd showed up. Crowd's loud. Supports their team, and we're going to get that. And there were things in this game that, like, if they do better, it can be a better game than what it was, what it ended up being tonight. Look, it went from 51 to 19. You know, if we improve by
baby steps,
32 points on Thursday, we win the game by double digits.
You're damn right.
That's how it goes.
You're only a 9-point underdog.
That's
home court advantage right there.
That's home court advantage.
You
were
are
like
14 and a half point underdog tonight.
That's right.
No, but more than that, it really is the truth. I mean, it's a cliche for a reason. A series does not start until the home team loses a game. And the Oklahoma City Thunder took care of home court advantage as the 1 seed. That is oftentimes expected. But you want to know what we've seen in the history of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Weird things happen.
Yeah.
The Grizzlies could come home. They could put together the best game. Finally, they looked like they weren't afraid to drive to the basket, which was maybe perhaps the biggest improvement of the night, especially in the second half. But not relying on taking bad three-point shot after bad three-point shot. But you put 1 and 2 together. You saw a legitimate improvement from game 1 to game 2. You have the home court advantage. Like you guys said, we just saw it on Friday night. This place can be electric. With the growl towels. Give me a growl towel. Give me the opportunity.
An electric factory?
I mean,
are they going to rock down Electric Avenue?
We saw like little shocks from this team.
Little shocks?
Tonight, and you could see a full electricity movement.
Can I beg Ja to run back? Please run back. Please run back on defense. Please. Come on. Let's go. We can do it. We got full lines. Dave. What's up, Dave?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just wanted to say I was on Team Roser with the draft pick versus 8 seed conversation all those times at the Chris Vernon show that Devin and Chris were getting at John. I wanted to go in there and throw some punches for him. But the more that I'm thinking about it now, I think that this might be a blessing in disguise if we, get spanked in this series, because I think that it will finally cause the front office to realize that we're not close. And if that happens, they're going to move in a way that they wouldn't have moved if they missed the playoffs. So I'm hoping that happens. I don't know the odds of it, but I feel like the odds are better if we lose by 30 points a game in the series or something like that.
Well, damn, man, I just got through doing a whole spiel being positive and everything, and you just come in here and you just raining on it, man. Like, come on, Dave. We're trying to be positive here.
Nah, I'm with Dave. I said that exact same thing to you in there, like literally word for word.
You did say that. It's still.
It's important. I think it's important to see this to know where you stand in the grand scheme of the Western Conference playoffs.
You would have to be blind to not be able to see that at this point. Like,
more athletes.
They are 13 and 9, counting play-in and playoffs. They are 13 and 19 since the All-Star break. Like, that is what it is. That being said, we have a home playoff game on Thursday night. Show up and show out. Look, it is really, speaking as someone who used to drink a lot of alcohol at sporting events, I can tell you, it's really fun. Win or lose, it is really, really fun. So I encourage you to do it and then take a ride share home.
And
or have a DD. Or have a DD.
Imagine you're not at the game where the Grizzlies shock the world and get one on the Oklahoma City Thunder. That sounds like FOMO to me.
Yeah. What are you going to do? What are you going to do when you say, where were you the night the Grizzlies shocked the world and beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in Game 3 at FedEx Forum? What are you going to say? I was actually on my couch. I was in my bed and had a nice book sitting next to me. Nah, it's a loser mentality.
You see that shot from Ja down the stretch?
Forum.
You never know what shot you're going to see from Ja. He'll do something crazy every night.
That was wild. He does that a couple times. That's crazy. Look, all right, Dre, you're up. Hello, Dre.
Y'all, I just want to say, first of all, that I'm a lifetime Grizz fan. I've been watching their ass since they moved here when I was in goddamn middle school, and I was hyped as hell the Grizzlies came to town. So I've been through it all. I've been watching y'all. I've been watching the Verno show since back when Chris Verno used to get on there and bitch about Shelvin Mack selling Marc Gasol on the pick and roll, and then Marc Gasol go over there and be mad as hell.
And you're an OG. You're an OG. Yeah. I got you, Dre.
So today's my birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday.
Birthday, y'all. So I went out with my homeboys. I ain't seen it since in a minute. You know, we sitting there at the Mexican restaurant, half-ass watching the Grizzlies game because I'm seeing they getting their ass kicked again. So I'm not really tripping on it, you know, but it is what it is. Now, as far as what I think it is, I think it's a culmination of a lot of stuff. Like, my pick was Grizz in 5. Oklahoma City in 5. So I think we're gonna win one at the Grindhouse. I think it's just inevitable that crowd be loud and stuff. I'm with y'all, positive vibes. We gonna get it done. We gonna win one, but we taking our ass home overall. But I think it's a culmination of just a lot of things over the last few years that the front office is kind of almost piggybacking on what my man said a minute ago. But it's like, man, it's a lot of neglect that we have given this roster. I think getting our ass whooped against the Thunder is, I hope this is the last ditch chance on the front office to finally realize, like Dude said, we not close. So it's like, because y'all let a lot of stuff walk out the door for nothing, man. This roster could have been a lot stronger over the years. Like, why the hell we ain't trade Dillon when we knew his ass was leaving for nothing anyway? Before just trade his ass for a good lot of players. Tyus Jones, trade him. Don't let him walk for nothing. Kyle and Milt, trade their ass. Don't let them walk for nothing. And then it's like Adams, you can go down. Jay Crowder, however many.
Well, we did trade D'Anthony Melton for David Roddy. We did. That's a real thing.
Like I said, we traded him.
Oh, come on.
Although I like David Roddy.
Come on, Dre.
Hey, David Roddy had some moments for us. I'm not going to front. Like, David Roddy hit some big shots and played some lockdown D. I remember David Roddy having some.
Roddy had that game against the Mavs. Yeah. He had that game against the Mavericks here at the Forum.
We let his ass go. And side note, we should have kept Kenny Lofton, but that's a whole nother rant I'm not even going to get into. This motherfucker that won MVP.
Yeah, to drop it. Can't let that go, Dre. Come on.
Dre, we're also on the radio. We're also on the radio.
You got to keep it PG-13.
Yeah. Look. All right.
This is a good call, though.
It was a good call. I appreciated Bruce. Look, and I will say, look, you may only have 2 more chances to see the Grizzlies at FedEx Forum this year.
Hey.
No, I say you may.
It's a depressing way to look at it.
No. So come on down and see them because, look, you're going to miss them when they're gone. Because we know what I'm selling. That's right. I'm selling. I'm like, what's the Alec Baldwin movie?
I don't know which one you're talking about.
The sales movie.
I was going to go with, you're like Wolf of Wall Street.
Glenn Ross.
Glenn Ross?
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never even seen that movie, but I just know like I've seen like a scene from it where he's like making a sales pitch or whatever.
It's a great play that was then made into a movie. If we want to get technical.
We know what the off seasons are like. They're long. It's like, oh my gosh, when does the regular season? Wait, when does training camp start? When does preseason start? Like, we get excited for preseason schedules being released. So that's what I'm saying. You may only get 2 more chances to see him. So come on down to FedEx Forum and see him Thursday night, Game 3, or sit at home and be a loser. Bruce, you're up.
Yes,
what's up, Bruce?
how y'all doing? I'm calling from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
Shout out Colorado Springs.
I'm going to Colorado Springs in a few months.
Are you really? For what?
I am just a great vacation.
Go to the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, as I've told him over and over again.
I know what you're doing in Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I just want to say, and me and Ben, I was born and raised in Memphis. And of course, being out in Colorado, I do catch a lot of flack for the Grizzlies and the Titans. So I do understand. But one thing I want to say is that I watch Santi Aldama. Every time he comes in the game, I say, oh, boy, because it seems like he's playing for he's afraid because I watch him and he doesn't dive on the floor for the ball, and he just stands there like he's in mud. He doesn't move, and even the smallest player on the team can seem to just come and take the ball out of his hand. And one other thing is that even watching Zach has college strength, but now he's in the NBA. The strength and conditioning coach need to get with him, and so he can get NBA strength. And once he gets the NBA strength, I think he will be much better. He still have the college strength. So, and a lot of guys in the NBA, they are much stronger. And so and the problem is that our bench is not as deep as a lot of the other benches, because once they started to trade out, and our bench come in, we just get steamrolled. And that is the problem, that we don't have a bench, and a lot of the players that do come in, it seems like that they are afraid to dive on the floor. And one other quick thing is that I do understand with Ja, because when you're playing your heart out, and it seems like the other team gets all the calls, that can suck all the life out of you. And it's hard, because I used to play when I was in school and went through the same thing. And that is so hard for a player when you're playing, and it's just the refs, you get all the calls is called against you and not your way. And I do understand Ja. So, yeah, he gets frustrated because he is driving to the basket, but he's not getting the calls.
Yep. I'm with you, Bruce. I appreciate it. I think you made a couple of really good points there, though. I appreciate it, Bruce. Yeah. Thank you for the call. I think you did make a couple of good points. Some of the stuff we've talked about with Edey is that, yes, he's college strong and not NBA strong. That comes with time and being in the weight room and experience. Yeah. There are times we have seen where he can be a real force, but there are also, like when he's on the offensive glass and then he follows it actually up. But then there are times where we see him, even when he grabs an offensive rebound, where he gets bumped and he drops the ball out of his hands. Mm-hmm. He gets knocked off his spot. That will come with time and strength. Yeah.
Look at how Jaren looked when he was a rookie. Look at him now, right?
The thing on Ja getting frustrated with when he feels like he doesn't get the calls. Here is the thing with the playoffs. Nobody's getting calls. Tom Thibodeau was upset last night because Jalen Brunson wasn't getting calls. Free throw rate is at an all-time low in the NBA playoffs in the last 20 years. This year is the lowest it has been in 20 years, the free throw rate per 100 possessions.
And that's a good thing.
And that is a great thing. You have to earn it. You absolutely have to earn it. I do want to say again, happy birthday, Dre. We're sorry we had to boot you off, but some words, because we are being broadcast on the radio, that you just can't say. But we really hope you enjoy the rest of your birthday and you're tuning in. Chris, you're up.
Hey, yeah, I was just calling, was recapping some of the stuff I said before. I know I called on Friday, and as a matter of fact, I talked to someone you all a week ago, and I guess I was misquoted again on something I was saying about the coach not playing. Basically, he has to play his best players and put them in rotation. And I mentioned Vince Williams, and someone was saying something about I guess took it as I was saying something like he was an experimental player. He's not an experimental player. I think he's a proven really good role player. But again, for whatever reason, he didn't play him in game one or Luke Kennard, and he didn't have them out of the rotation. Then he put Luke Kennard back in the rotation this game. So it looked like the coach is a little confused. And then he started again. He started Scottie Pippen Jr. So you have three guards in your starting lineup, which is not really realistically that's not going to work. And then they did get their turnovers down from the game one to game two. They had 14 field, too many turnovers, 14. I would say maybe like 11 at least, or something, 10 or something like that.
It's the points off turnovers. It's the points they score off the turnovers. They've scored 24 and 25 off the turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying and then it goes to in the fourth quarter, they started back playing that ISO ball. They wasn't. It's like it made me think that they're trying to lose on purpose, because they were doing good in the third quarter. Then they went right back in the beginning of the fourth quarter, and they started playing that no assist ISO ball. So they went right back to beating themselves. I've said this before. It's not really. It's less about Oklahoma City. It's more about the Grizzlies beating themselves. And the coach I don't know why John Conchar is in the rotation of Marvin Bagley. I think we know what John Conchar pretty much is. I'm really confused. But like I said, it's all about shortening the rotation and playing your best players. And I'm not saying.
I mean, he essentially played. Dez played 37 minutes. Ja played 40 minutes. I mean, I do think Jaren
got 17 minutes.
Luke Kennard's been in and out of it. Santi played 31 minutes. They essentially played six guys big minutes.
No, I'm saying Luke Kennard is a very important player because he draws these spaces out the floor. They're going to guard him.
Yeah, but Luke Kennard won't shoot the ball, though. He won't even shoot it. I get what you're saying, but he doesn't shoot.
The idea of Luke Kennard.
Is amazing, but if he doesn't shoot the ball.
He put him back in the rotation. They played a lot better than they did the last game. And no Vince Williams. Like I said, they're not going to. That Marvin Bagley, John Conchar nonsense, it ain't going to work. But he clearly don't know. He looked like he's sort of confused, I guess, the coach or whatever. But either way, the guy that they got rid of or whatever, and the one that they have now, both of them look like they don't really. I don't get it. It's just it's really ridiculous. Like I said, they could. I said it before. I don't think they were going to beat OKC, but they can if they would just get back to playing basic fundamental basketball. You know what I'm saying? And shorten the rotation, play your best players. Don't beat yourself. Don't stop playing ISO ball. You know what I'm saying? And it's really that simple. But nobody. But nobody probably won't agree with that. But it is what it is.
All right. Thanks for the call, Chris. We appreciate it.
I do think, it's one of those cases where when you talk about whatever the depth of the rotation is for the Grizzlies, they can't match what the Thunder throw out. Can't. Chet Holmgren was talking about it after the game, and he said they're joking on their bench when the starters are on their bench saying, man, I wouldn't want to go against our defense. And that goes for their starting five, their first five off the bench. There's no drop-off. They go 10 deep. In the NBA player survey, the anonymous player survey that came out today, one of the players who picked the Thunder to win it all said it's because they go 10 deep and there's no drop off there. And obviously their defense is the signature, but they have a lot of guys who can make shots in critical moments. If you shut down someone, SGA has 27 tonight, but he's 10 of 29.
He has
29 shots to get there. That's scary. I don't love that.
He has not been good this series. No. The other thing too, when you talk about their bench, when they bring, the Cason Wallace, Alex Caruso off the bench.
Two games in a row, that lineup has lit into the Grizzlies.
Menaces in the backcourt defensively. Both of those guys are just all over the place. SGA has not really played well. Like, he hasn't really had to do anything. Jalen Williams has been a big problem for them. His length, his athleticism, he pretty much has gotten to where he needs to go. That has been...
And Chet was incredible.
Chet was awesome.
20 points, 5 blocks.
11 rebounds.
Whew.
Yeah, Chet was awesome.
There was one play where he had a dunk on one end, hustled back for the block on the other.
I was so wrong about him.
There's even on... It's a play Jaren scored on Chet. But I was just impressed by Chet's ability. He was in the paint, ran out to the three-point line to cover Jaren, and Jaren immediately drove, and Chet stopped on a dime, stayed with him, and then Jaren spun back, I believe spun back to his right, and Jaren scored because he bumped Chet and got the separation because he's stronger than Chet. But I was just impressed by Chet's ability to close out, then stay and slide with them. He just wasn't strong enough to take to absorb the contact. But yeah, Chet Holmgren, very impressive tonight. David, you're up.
Hey guys,
hello,
how's it
David.
going?
Yeah, what's up, man?
The way I see it is that everyone expects Memphis to lose. You know, you got nothing to lose now. You got these next 2 games. Why not try something different? I think the coaches, you can't put out the same old lineup and expect something different. They've got to do something different. And as far as Memphis, the team is built to play fast, and this whole half court thing that Thunder wants to do, slow it down, is where Memphis fails. So obviously, they've got to pick a lineup and stick with it that plays fast. And having Edie out there, even though he's talented and will be good probably eventually, he's just, at the moment, not built for playoff ball. And that's why I'm thinking, why not try Huff out there? He stretches the floor. He's not a great rebounder, but he stretches the floor. Yeah. He blocks shots. They move fast. And I was just looking at it while the show was going. When Memphis were in the 2 seed and playing well and had the good offense and defense going, he was playing all the time, playing regularly, getting good minutes. And then as his minutes have tapered off, you know, so have the team. And I'm not saying it's all based on him, but it's worth trying at least to give him a shot.
Yeah,
I'm with you, David.
I would play him too.
I'm with you, David. I appreciate the call. Why not? I do think
it is a different look.
Before in playoffs. I do think you'll probably see a different starting lineup on Thursday night. I think you probably will. It is the most kitchen sink of kitchen sink games. You are going to try everything you can. Like, you just got to throw everything at it. And it stinks that we're having to do that at this point, but that's just kind of what it is. Like, you're going to try. I think you will see the starting line. I mean, I remember we did this with Zach Randolph. We started JaMychal Green, and then it came like we played 2 games with Zebo coming off the bench in the playoffs, and by the time we got back home, it was like, okay, Zach's in the starting lineup. Like, what are we doing here? I think you will probably see a change in the starting lineup. I do think, was it Dre who he called? Apparently, Dre called back to apologize. Dre, you're good, man.
Dre, we love you. You're now a legend.
Live your life. You're well. Please,
birthday legend.
Birthday legend. Please call in on Thursday night after Game 3.
Good shit from Dre.
Yeah, it was. Thank you for the call, David. I had no idea he was still there. I had no idea he was still there. Thank you for the call. We appreciate it. But I think he brought up Brandon Clark. I think he was the one who brought up Brandon Clark.
Yes.
And it's like we've been saying, Marvin Bagley is going to now play. Coach Esau even said this. He's going to take on Marvin Bagley is going to take on the Brandon Clark role. Well, Brandon Clark is not, or Marvin Bagley, not the defensive player that Brandon Clark is. Yeah. And that is one of the things where you really, really do miss Brandon Clark is on that defensive end and just somebody that can switch and can be tied together with Jaren Jackson Jr. and the other guys that are out there. All right, we got to hit these last 2 callers, and then we have got to take a break. Trey, you're up.
Hello. So, what do we want to talk about on those cheap Oklahoma City calls?
On the what?
The cheap Oklahoma City calls. I mean, you can get a lot of calls when you're the best team in the NBA, But when you, like, do those cheap ones like SGA did, it just makes me so mad.
What did he do?
I don't know. He only got to the free throw line.
Like, first...
He only went to the line 4 times. He only took 4 free throws tonight.
Yeah, it was the second quarter, midway through. He ran, took a layup, he, like, punt faked, and he did that thing where he just, like, slams into them.
I agree. I actually hate that as well.
I was frustrated as hell watching Jalen Brunson last night. Same energy.
Appreciate the call, man.
Thank you for the call,
I
Trey.
am glad that he shot fewer free throws this game, but what he just said there, I agree. I don't like that either.
Yeah. But to go back to what Roser said earlier, they are calling less.
They are. They're calling. They're calling fewer fouls.
I thought that watching the game, there was even a 3 late in the game that SGA made.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the ones that either put the Thunder back up 18 or 20, and so you're just kind of rolling your eyes. He wanted the call.
Yeah.
But what I noticed was he yapped for approximately 2 seconds. He was mad he didn't get the call. Quick yap. And then he was right back out on defense.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's what you have to do this time of year.
You have to do it.
You can't get caught in the continuation, because if it's not getting called, if SGA is not getting a call at this point.
Especially when we know the way our team is and how they react to the point guard. Like, man, they see that, and it affects them. All right. Steph, you're up.
Hey, how y'all doing?
What's up, man?
What's going on?
Hey, yeah, I'm starting to question Ja's, like, leadership in this because, I mean, when he had the turnover, he came down and then Pippen, he dribbled the ball off his foot, and then Pippen loses the ball. So, I don't know. I'm kind of questioning his leadership and confidence. I think he needs to set the tone for the whole team. And I was just looking at some I think he needs to go back and look at some old basketball, like, and bring the heart and the fight to the team. Like, Iverson, 2000 and 2001, he had players like George Lynch, Mutombo, Geiger. I mean, he didn't have nobody on his team, and he took that team to the finals, and they actually beat the Lakers. So I think Ja's not setting the tone for leadership. I think he needs to go watch some old school basketball and set the tone for heart and fight. That's all I got to say.
All right, thanks for the call, Steph. We appreciate it. Yeah, I think well said. We're going to take a break. When we get back, we'll talk about Game 3 Thursday night here at FedEx Forum. This is the Double Post. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle, live. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, 92.9 FM ESPN. If you want to call in, 901-445-0929. Grizzlies down 0-2 now after a 118-99 loss to Oklahoma City. We'll be back after this.
This is WMFS FM and HD1 Bar. WMFS, Memphis' sports station.
Number 1 in the 901.
92.9 FM ESPN and Odyssey Sports Station.
Flu season is here. Protect yourself and your loved ones with a seasonal flu or senior flu shot at the Shot Nurse. With 3 locations, it's fast, convenient, and easy. Plus, it's free with most insurance. Or for groups of 10 or more, the nurse can come to you. Call 901-685-9999 or go to shotnurse.com to book your group appointment. The Shot Nurse is your wise choice.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership is better than ever. Save up to $1,100 each year on gas, groceries, delivery fees, and streaming options. With double fuel points, unlimited free delivery, and exclusive savings for members, there's so much to love about Boost. Sign up for a Boost membership today. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
Cheer on the Grizzlies with a slice of pizza in hand. When it's game day, there's only one place to satisfy your cheesy, doughy cravings. Head over to Rockin' Dough Pizza and Brewery, available at Section 109, for the ultimate winning team of pizza made with the freshest ingredients and local craft beer. Score big with flavor at Rockin' Dough Pizza and Brewery. Also visit us at our Germantown, Cordova, and soon-to-be Orleans Station locations.
Thinking about when you'll hang your jersey in the rafters? Robinhood Gold members enjoy Hall of Fame treatment with a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. Accelerate towards retirement with Robinhood, the official investing and jersey patch partner of the Memphis Grizzlies. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires a gold subscription for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC. For more information, go to robinhood.com/retirement. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
If you're looking for a getaway that has it all, and all just a quick flight or a short drive from North Texas, you need to plan a visit to Little Rock, Arkansas. This historic capital city is big in all the right ways, with a vibrant, walkable downtown that you're going to love to explore, a booming dining scene, endless arts and culture, exciting events, and more, all surrounded by endless places to get outside, hike, bike, paddle, and play. One visit and you'll leave big on Little Rock. Plan your getaway at littlerock.com today.
There's work being done and changes being made in Memphis. The Memphis Police Department is working hard to protect the peace, the pride, and the people of our city, to realize our greatness together, doing jobs that matter for ourselves, our families, and our community. If you're ready to work for change and not just wait for change, we need you in a challenging and financially rewarding career with the Memphis Police Department. Become the change. Visit joinmpd.com and apply today.
Welcome to the NBA playoffs. The moment we've all been waiting for is here.
The fans now on the edge of their seats.
It's time to stay locked in to every single moment. Because you never know when history will be made. When it's win or go home, every moment matters. So don't miss a thing. NBA playoffs presented by Google continues on ABC, ESPN, TNT, and NBA TV.
Are you tired of dealing with meters and paying overages on your copier invoices? Give Konica Minolta a call to learn about their One Rate program. That's right. You pay one rate, and it includes the machine, unlimited printing, toner, staples, and there are no meters and no overages involved. Simplify your copier and printer billing by calling Jeff Lee today at 387-5603 to learn more about the revolutionary new program.
We're back. Double Post, Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X, 92.9 FM, ESPN on your radio dial, 901-445-0929. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett, Doyle. Grizzlies fall tonight, 118-99 to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the first round, best of 7 Western Conference Series. They're down 0-2. Game 3 will be Thursday night here at FedEx Forum. Get your tickets now. Ticketmaster.com. FedEx Forum box office, 901-888-HOOP or Grizzlies.com. Get your tickets. It's going to be awesome. It's a playoff game in Memphis. It's going to be awesome. My question for you is, Jessica, Bennett.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Jonathan.
When we're talking about what adjustments to make, would you play Jalen Wells with one hand?
Or would you rather play Brandon Clark with one leg?
Or would you rather play
Those are
Brandon
your
Clark?
options.
Would you rather play Brandon Clark with one leg?
Options.
No, I mean, I go back to what we were saying earlier. Like, you know, what happens if they don't start 0-9? Like, what does this game look like? And, you know, you're going to obviously have that home crowd on Thursday. And, you know, if it starts differently, you know, do they hang in the whole time? I mean, we know how historically game 3s go for the home team, right? Like, it's typically a really good spot. You know, I can't sit here and say, well, do this, do that. You're gonna, you know, you're gonna win the game. But we know that a fast start could really benefit this this team in game 3.
No, I think I know. Yeah, you're right. We say do this, do that, do this, do that. I do think. Look, in game 1 they showed no fight and they laid down.
Throw that one out the window. Yep.
Tonight there were times they showed fight, so it's just show that fight for longer.
I think the frustration of those shots not falling off the bat and not capitalizing affected so much, because even it was pointed out the body language of Ja in the first quarter, and he missed his first 6 shots.
Yeah.
And I remember yelling at my TV. I was frustrated. I said, what do you expect him to be, smiling and giggling because he missed his first 6 shots? No, I'd be frustrated as hell too. And you saw once he saw the ball go through the hoop in the second quarter, that's when he sparked on. And I thought to myself, as long as this is the version of Ja that you're getting, that version that takes over in the second portion of the second quarter, you're not going to get crushed because he allows you to hang around. He allows you to compete. And then the rest of the team elevates. And as I believe that caller was speaking, how the rest of this team goes around the emotional leadership of Ja.
Yes.
And when he is that, it is easier for everybody else around him. Now, you can't get trapped into watching the one-on-one Ja show. I do think that happens a bit as well.
It happens. Yeah.
And happens too much. But if you're allowing Ja, one, to find his shots and to find a comfort in that, but then to go back to being the facilitator that we know he can be. And a part of that, unfortunately, is wrapped in not trusting the guys around you to make the shots, and that trust hasn't been earned up until this point. But role players play better at home.
That's right.
Never forget it.
No, you talked about trusting the role players. Bennett, there was one of those times, and I know one of our there was one of those times with Luke Kennard that he came in, and you and I both, he caught the ball in the corner.
And we both started, shoot it!
And then kicked it to the wing. We're like, oh my gosh, shoot the ball!
I heard you guys all the way down the street at my house, and I was screaming it too.
It
So
was
we were all on the same page.
Probably if you would have stuck your head out a window, you could have heard all of downtown Memphis echoing, "Shoot the ball!"
No.
Everybody was yelling it at that point.
I mean, like we said in the first segment, 0 bench points in the second half of the team. That's not going to happen here. That's not going to happen here at home. It's just not.
Nor can it.
Yeah, nor can it, right?
Nor can it. It absolutely cannot happen. All right, Mark, you're up. Hello, Mark.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight?
Wonderful. Well, we've been better. We don't like going down 0-2, but we're here for y'all. We're here for y'all.
Well, good. I got a couple things to say. It's the first time calling in. Memphis got rid of all the dogs. They should have never got rid of Dylan Brooks. He was a top defender, and he would get them motivated. Then they got rid of Tillman. Then they got rid of Slow Mo to get all these rookies. You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
So these guys just. Right now, just they got no heart. They got to get that dog in them.
All right, thank you for the call, Mark. Yeah, there was more heart tonight. It's like I said,
player, but I would assume
you're not.
No, shockingly, when you're going up against a team like the Thunder, it has to be so hard to string together 6 great possessions, and it's all for naught. And you get it within 9, and then it's 18 again, and it's 20. And that's what this Thunder team does.
That's what they do.
They are one of the best and most efficient teams, at least in the regular season.
Yeah.
That is what they were, and it is proving to be a truth, at least against the Grizzlies in the first round of this playoffs.
I think we need to see on Thursday night, we need to see more of the offensive communication as far as less standing around. We need more of the pass, cut, dribble, drive, pass. Drive, pass, cut, pass. Just more possessions like that where it just doesn't. Oh, there's 12 on the shot clock. All right, ball up top to Ja. Let's dribble and wait for the high screen, and then that's just what we end up doing. Need more offensive actions. We need more stuff to happen there. The defense is. It is what it is. You're limited there. Hey, this was the first time you know what? We're going to go positives. Watch this. It's the first time all year we've held the Thunder to under 120. But did you realize that? Did anybody realize that?
No.
First time all season they haven't scored 120 on us.
It didn't even cross my mind.
Yeah.
First time all season the Grizzlies didn't score 100 points, and it's happened 2 games in a row.
Y'all both have shows tomorrow before I go on the air.
You want me to
Devin.
use it?
So there you go.
Okay, I'll put that in my back pocket.
Let's hit that point. Let's hit that point.
Desmond Bane.
Maine.
-4. Coming off of his NBA historic worst.
Oh, yeah.
-51. That's a 47 plus minus point turnaround. That's big.
We are, look at that. Get your tickets, 901-888-HOOP, Grizzlies.com, Ticketmaster.com, FedEx Forum box office. Get your tickets, Game 3, Thursday night against the Thunder. It's going to be awesome, playoff atmosphere. All right, Bennett, main thing you're looking for in Game 3 that you want to see different? If you had to say one thing I want to see. Yeah.
Man,
it's getting late.
Just to keep it simple, just a little more intensity. I keep going back to that play when it was like 95-79, and they stripped Jaren, and the whole Thunder team dives on the floor for the loose ball, and our guys are all just standing there. Like, I need to see that from our guys. You know, you're gonna have the home crowd behind you. Like, just get mad, get mad.
Yeah,
get mad. Be physical. I think there were some things to hang on to from this game, but I just want to see him angry and passionate. That's what I want to see.
Look, and I want the fans to be too. Look, I'm helping lay out growl towels tomorrow afternoon. So I expect all these people. I expect the people to show up and show out. I'm with you on the intensity. It continues to be the biggest thing here. It's like the turnover numbers were down tonight a little bit from Game 1, but the points off turnovers were up. The fast break points up. Like, that is like the points off turnovers are killing you. Killing you. Lost by 19 tonight, and you lost points off turnovers by 19 points tonight. Like, if you can just close that gap a little bit, or don't give up 24. If you give up 17 points off turnovers and you maybe score a little more off theirs, of course, they don't really turn it over. Maybe you can cut into that a little bit. We're looking for things. Jessica?
Yep.
I want to see the version of Jaren Jackson Jr. that we saw in the third quarter early.
Jaren, I thought...
This offense can roll through Jaren against this team. And I would like to see more of it.
I thought Jaren, when they had him on the block, I thought he passed out of a couple doubles really well, and they missed some shots. I think he passed out of one to Scotty, and Scotty just missed it. Missed a wide open three. I believe it was Scotty. If it wasn't, I apologize to Scotty. And then I think they realized it was getting tougher for him. And as I think Chris Harrington pointed out, they brought him out and they let him drive. They let him start driving one-on-one. And that's when he kind of got going a little bit. He only took 3 threes tonight. He took 18 shots. Only 3 of them were threes. He started driving in, getting into the interior a little bit, and I think he started to see some positive things happen for him. I remember in Game 1, there were some shots he missed around the paint where I was like, Bennett, I think we talked about it. There was one he had like over Ched, another one over Hartenstein, or another one he had like that he shot over, I think maybe even SGA, and it's like, yo, those are good shots. Like if he take, like, those are gonna go. Like those are good shots. And they started to go tonight. So
and then
Dez got to be better than
effort on the boards. Dez at least had 12 rebounds tonight.
He did. The shooting has been a problem for him against the Thunder all season long. It's just he was coming into tonight 29.6% from 3 in 5 games against OKC this year. It's been an issue. But hey, you know what we always say? Well, we don't always say it, but we're saying it now. Do theory.
Love a do theory.
Love a do theory. Desmond
a do
Bane.
Theory of this season.
Yep.
A do theory of the last. How many straight losses is it to the Thunder?
I don't know.
10?
It's a lot.
10, I think?
Yeah. Here,
a big number. A large number.
Here. Grizzlies, Thunder.
But you come back, and that is the importance of. There are going to be a lot of fans who are sitting frustrated tonight, and I can't talk you out of that. It is frustrating to watch your team lose again.
Yes.
And the inevitability feeling of this Oklahoma City Thunder team.
Look,
However, I will remind everyone that playoff basketball is a luxury that is not promised, that is not given. You never know how. Does anybody remember how bad last season felt? Like, I get it. I get that right now this doesn't feel good. But last season, you weren't even in a position to make the postseason. So take advantage of a playoff game. You get to come out, see these two teams play, and see an opportunity for the Grizzlies to perhaps bounce back. They will have all of the, like, just the free opportunity in front of them. And that can be a pretty beautiful place to play from.
It is the amount of times we have lost to the Thunder now, including these 2 games in the playoffs in a row. It is, I'm out of fingers.
10. 11.
Plus a big toe. It's 11. 11 times in a row if you count these 2 playoff games.
That means we're due.
That means we're due. Do theory. Do theory Thursday. Dude Theory Thursday, and all the doom and gloom of everything of the offseason. Like, we will get to that when we have to get to that. We still got games to play right now.
Yeah, everybody slow down.
Everybody's got to slow down. Pump the brakes.
It's a long summer. No matter what, summer is long.
Yeah, summer is a long time, yes. So let's see as much basketball as we can starting Thursday night. Grizzlies and Thunder. Get your tickets. FedEx Forum, Ticketmaster, Grizzlies.com, 888-HOOP. Tickets for Game 3. Grizzlies fall tonight. They're down 0-2. Double post. We are going to come back, and we will wrap this show up and get you ready for Game 3. Tell you how you can watch it, how you can listen to it. That is next. Double post. Grind City Media on YouTube. Grind City Media on X. 92.9 FM ESPN on your radio. John Roser, Jessica Benson, Bennett Doyle. We'll be back after this.
At the Regional One Health Surgery Center, our focus is not only on healing, but getting you back to normal as quickly as possible. With expert surgeons and the latest technology, we offer the most advanced robotic and minimally invasive procedures. That means you get the most effective care with less time in the hospital and more time doing what you love. Regional One Health, specializing in tomorrows.
When the arena lights dim for a concert, or when the crowd becomes one at a big game, you can almost feel like you're the biggest fan. But who's your biggest fan? It's the person that will get you home safely after a night of drinking. It's the person who looks out for your life to make sure you leave the stadium with someone sober. This could be a designated driver or someone who offers to get you a ride share. Because in Tennessee, fans don't let fans drive drunk. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office, a division of the Tennessee Department of Safety and Homeland Security.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous. A legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
This is Gary Parrish reminding you about Danny Morrison Roofing Professionals. They're a local, family-owned and operated business serving the Mid-South's residential and commercial roofing needs since 2010. It's the home of the free roof. You really can get a new roof with no cost to you. Most roofing jobs, they can be done in one day, so this isn't some lengthy process. Just call Danny at 901-870-0186. It's Danny Morrison Roofing, a proud supporter of the University of Memphis Athletic Department. Danny Morrison Roofing, 901-870-0186.
Hey, I got good news, folks. It's springtime at Oak Hall. Okay, not technically springtime, but you walk in that store, you'll feel like it. The colors are bright. The clothes are beautiful. It is time to get ready for spring and summer at Oak Hall. Maybe you're headed somewhere warm. They've got swimwear too. And it's the same wonderful people, same beautiful clothes who are there for you at Christmas and throughout the year. Springtime at Oak Hall. Go back in and see your friends today.
Spring into big bloomin' wins at Southland Casino Hotel. Earn entries in April to win your share of up to $100,000 in free play or a 2025 GMC Denali Sierra on April 26th. On Fridays, play Take It or Leave It for your share of $215,000 in free play. Saturdays through April 19th, win $1,500 in free play every 15 minutes. Big wins and a brand new Denali. Only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 plus. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Looking for a place to get hyped before the game? Courtside Grill at the Westin Memphis Beale Street is the place. Try our specialty appetizers like alley-oop nachos layered with cheese, tomatoes, and jalapenos. The technical foul appetizer will mean you are in big trouble as you savor 6 big bites of wings. Fallon out tenders dipped in buttermilk served with fries will be worth it. And try our unlimited soup and salad for just $15. Snack on some chips and queso while you're waiting for that courtside burger. It's 7 ounces cooked to order served with fries. Dribble into flavor with our full court press cocktails, the ultimate shot for your taste buds. The fan favorite is the Slam Dunk drink, which will really get you hyped up. If you're hanging with your friends, a bucket of beer will do the trick, and a must try is that courtside lemonade that is a divine cocktail for the ladies. After all the fun at courtside, jump into our heavenly bed for a restful night. Courtside Grill just across the street from the FedEx Forum. See it, the only destination before and after the game. It's all fun at Courtside Grill.
And then there were 2. we'll let Jessica Benson go for the night. Double Post, we're back here. Going to wrap things up here. Grizzlies fall tonight 118-99 to the Oklahoma City Thunder. Their best of 7 first round series in the Western Conference. The Grizzlies will look to get on the board next time Thursday night against the Oklahoma City Thunder. Bennett Doyle, I appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Always a good time.
Yeah, looking forward to Thursday. Hopefully they can bounce back. I heard you guys talking earlier today about what was it, the Clippers series when they got blasted in the first game.
Yeah.
They got blasted in the first game. Chris Paul hit a game winner in the second game. Then the Grizzlies won 4 straight. Yep. So we need some of that energy.
We need some of that energy. We need some of that energy. I remember another year that we lost the first 2 games in San Antonio by double digits in both of those. Then came back and won the next 2 in Memphis. Now we eventually lost the series, but came back, fought hard, and got some dubs in the series. Why not do the same thing here? Look, still got at least 2 more games, so everything you got. Thought they fought harder tonight. Need a little bit more of that. We need more of that fight they showed in spurts. We need that to stretch out longer over the course of the game. And maybe, look, don't go 0 for 9. Can we just not go 0 for 9 to start the game? Man, just make some shots to start the game. See some shots fall. Get that confidence going early. And then who knows? We'll see what happens. There are so many people that we have to thank that help bring us this broadcast, that have made all this possible. Scott Zachary and John Pugliese here from the Memphis Grizzlies. Odyssey, which is the parent company of our flagship radio home with the Grizzlies, 92.9 ESPN. Nicole Harbin's their GM and VP. Brad Carson's their brand manager. Eric Hasseltine, Mike Wallace, Gary Darby, Wes Warwick is back in our Grizzlies Radio Network broadcast studios. He is the one answering your calls and putting you on the air. Our technical director here handling all the video, all the highlights you see, any graphics that you see like that. The true 101, the GOAT, Kyra Black. Thank you to her. Darnell Brady also doing a fantastic job for us. He helps cut some clips and things like that. Jacob Blevins, Sean Byrne. They've done amazing jobs. And then my co-hosts here, Jessica Benson and Bennett Doyle. And then, of course, last but not least, all of you out there, everybody that calls in, everybody that watches, participates in the show chat, even if you don't, if you just listen, if you just watch, we appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Grizzlies in Oklahoma City, Thursday night, 8:30. Lang Whitaker will be on the air with the warm-up show starting at 7:30. Grind City Media on YouTube, Grind City Media on X at 7:30 Thursday night. Then myself, Jessica Benson, and Bennett Doyle will be back with you after Game 3 again in this studio for the Double Post. Until Thursday night, good night, everybody.